Minister.
And I want to thank the House for accommodating this piece of legislation this afternoon. Indeed, before I speak to the amendments, I'd like to outline my position and the position of the Government in respect of this bill. I want to express a strong view to Senator O'Cagey that I'm supportive of the amendments proposed to the bill at committee stage, subject to legal advice and the need for further amendments in specific instances to which I will refer. Firstly, I wish to state that the general principle of the bill to consolidate and codify the law on perjury is commendable. I aware of the fact that historically it has proven difficult to have a successful prosecution of perjury and subornation of perjury at common law. I accept what indeed Senator O'Cagey has said, the whole basis of the bill, the essence of the bill, that there is a real need to provide for a more effective and streamlined process through which this offence can be prosecuted, and that will allow us a move towards realising this objective by placing the offence, and indeed other related offences, on a statutory footing. And that's what this bill purports to do, and I agree with it. I want to recognise the work that's gone into producing the bill on the part of Senator O'Cagey. Indeed, not only producing it but publishing it and initiating debate on it here in the Seanad. It's a very welcome development on the basis of the far-reaching issues which we are seeking to address here. I also want to acknowledge the input of Senator O'Cagey's colleagues, Senator Marshall, Senator Boyhan, Senator McDougall, for developing the bill, having presented here to the House, but also for developing it in the context of some discussion with other interested parties, perhaps even stakeholders. Indeed, the offence of perjury has been the subject matter of much media comment recently, in particular in relation to the business community. Indeed, some of the business organisations have called for new legislation to be put in place to make it somewhat easier to prosecute the offence, particularly in the matter of personal injury claims, which impact directly on the unacceptably high level of insurance costs. House will be aware that my colleague Minister Michael Darcy, whose responsibility for insurance reform, intends to introduce legislation to ensure greater protection and fairness for policyholders. I want to acknowledge the importance of this bill in this regard, because it will complement that legislation by providing a deterrent effect to those people who, across our society and in communities, wish to continue to abuse the law through the making of fraudulent claims. And that's really important, and I congratulate Senator O'Cagey in that regard. As regards the future, including these amendments, I want to say, having reiterated the fact that I support the general principle of the bill, I want to assure Senator O'Cagey that I will continue to engage with him to further develop and strengthen the bill, so that I may be in a position to continue to support the bill as it progresses through the Houses. I want to say to Senator O'Cagey that I have received many of the substantive amendments to the bill over the last 10 days. My officials have sought the legal advice of the Attorney-General on these issues. It could well be that there are a number of matters which I may need to bring forward amendments on at a later stage, which focus generally on issues such as whether there is a need to equate penalties in this bill with those provided in other legislation across the criminal justice system, whether the proposed new offence of fabricating evidence might raise other concerns, and I'd be keen to hear from senators on that, the potential risk of double jeopardy arising in relation to any overlap that might have in relation to other legislation already enacted, or indeed whether in Section 1, for example, the definition of judicial or other proceedings needs to be further developed and expanded. So I'll refer to these issues as the House deals with the relevant sections in the bill. And can I say briefly, in relation to the amendments, Amendment 1 is a technical amendment which provides for the inclusion of a definition of perjury in Section 1. This definition mirrors the definition already provided for in Section 2. I agree with that. I wonder, would it be in order for ease of reference and for ease of debate if I may speak to Section 1 at this stage?
We're on Amendment 1, Section 1, yes.
You might invite comments from senators.
Well, Senator O'Kelly will be speaking.
Yeah. I'm considering bringing forward an amendment to Section 1 regarding the definition of judicial or other proceedings. One possible problem I see with the bill is that it appears to define a proceeding as primarily involving the administration of justice, and then states this includes tribunals. So a question might arise if this formula includes tribunals of inquiry as well as decision-making tribunals. A tribunal of inquiry, senators will be aware, doesn't administer justice. It's concerned exclusively with the discovery of facts, a fact-finding exercise, fact-finding tribunal. We may consider whether commissions of investigation should be provided for under this definition. This, of course, is a policy matter, and I would be happy to engage with Senator O'Quaige on this precise issue. But I'm also keen to ensure that we might be in a position to advance this bill alongside other measures that both houses are considering across a number of departments to see can we deal with very challenging, important and urgent issue of insurance costs. So I'm conscious of time here, conscious of the fact that we've got to go to the Dáil, conscious of the fact that perhaps we might give consideration to the Dáil just taking this bill under government time, and I would be very happy to do so, notwithstanding the fact that I currently have, I think, 117 bills on my desk, one of which has taken a considerable amount of time and will undoubtedly take more. But as I said, I'm a guest here.
You show terrible favouritism towards me.
I'm a guest here, and will not stray beyond my role, as indeed last week we testified. But anyway, a question may well arise if the formula includes tribunal of inquiry as well as decision-making tribunals, and we need to tease that out. So maybe I'll leave that as far as Section 1 is concerned.
May wish to come in other sections, Minister. Thank you.